What's up, everybody? We're back here for episode 33 of the Pitside podcast. I'm here with my good buddy Roger Craig. We got a great episode for you this week. We have, in honor of Mental Health Awareness Week, we're having a Hometown Heroes race. We've got our good buddy Adam Ross, and then also we've got one of our newest kind of team members within the league. He's the admin president, the executive admins. I don't remember the exact title, but Zach Chapman. So he's on, so we hang out with him for a little bit. So if you stick around, it's a real good show for you this week.
Welcome to the Pitside Podcast, where we discuss the latest news and developments in the G-Force Racing League, as well as other racing news inside and out of iRacing. Now here's your hosts, the A-Lit Outlaw, Preston Cranmer, and Roger, the Bassman Craig.
Yep, so we're back here. It's a new episode this week in a lot of ways. So obviously I moved out to the shed a few weeks ago, so you've seen a couple episodes, I think, with me out here now. But we've got some new audio equipment, so that should be working a little bit better. I think your audio will be better balanced, still fine-tuned and things. But on top of that, and hopefully he's not too busy at the moment, we also have brought on a producer. We didn't get any volunteers, so I outright told Connor Ross it's time, like, let's do this together. So Connor Ross is going to step up and be our producer now. He's not in his official capacity tonight because we're filming this at the same time as the Big Block Modifieds race, so you might be getting a bit of an in-car interview here. But are you you got your ears on there, Connor?
Yeah.
What, are you in the feature, buddy?
Yeah, I'm ninth right now. I may or may not have just taken out a teammate, which is never good. But
well, and it's gonna be live and on air. So if there was any doubt before, it won't be come Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be just blame Preston. So what lap are you on?
We are 25 out of 30, and I'm just slicing dicing.
Well, there you go, buddy.
Yeah,
so
you interrupt us. You interrupt us if you finish before we're done talking.
Yeah. When you hit the podium, let us know. So
it's a bet, I think.
So it's great to have Connor on, and he'll be getting a bigger role as we go forward. Preston's got a whole bunch of great ideas, and we'll be implementing them over the next few weeks or even months.
And if I haven't said this before, I'm going to spill the beans now. One of the main things is we're going to be taking the podcast audio, not audio only. We'll have the video podcast to hear if you like to look at us regularly. But we're also going to try to do, I know a lot, like I listen to podcasts on my way home from work in the evenings. So if you want to be able to listen to it, we're going to be looking into going into Apple Music and Spotify both. If there's another platform you use, frankly, I love technology, but I'm not super familiar with all the places you can go to get podcasts. If there's somewhere you like to use to get your podcasts, let me know, and I'll at least check it out. So we want to get this out as much as we can. So there will be other things around the podcast that come out soon enough, but that one I'm willing to share at the moment, I guess.
So moving along here, we got I think we got a great podcast this week. We got two super guests coming on. One, Daddy's Money. We got Daddy's Money is actually coming on, Adam Ross. So, but this is on a serious note, really. We got a big event coming up this Wednesday for Hometown Heroes. It's Mental Health Awareness, brought to you by the Wellness Sessions. And the Wellness Sessions is something that Adam has set up, and we'll let Adam talk about that in his interview more, but a great interview with Adam. Adam's just a top shelf guy all the way, and I'm not sure we could lift him up to the top shelf, but he's a top shelf guy.
I hope he doesn't watch this.
So the other one too is we got Grizzly Adams coming on. We've got our newest appointee, the director of race officials, Zach Chapman, and that was a real interesting, I think, an interesting interview with Zach. Zach's a great, I call him a kid, but he's not that young. I mean, what was he, 28 or something like that?
28.
But
getting married in August too, so send your gifts.
Getting married in August, folks. So the whole, I'm hearing rumors that the whole G-Force Racing League is going to be invited.
Yep.
So it should be a great event that we can be attending, or at least maybe the Pitside podcast could go down and and video it and do it live.
Yeah,
the podcast will be a part of the wedding.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do it live. Maybe right before the bride walks in, we'll catch that on camera, and that's how we'll close out that week.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think we got to do that. But anyways, so we got a great event coming up on Wednesday. With all seriousness and everything going on, mental awareness is super important. So, but like I say, we'll let Adam get into that. The other one we want to really talk about is, Veterans Week is coming up. That's the following week. So that started out with Veterans Night, but we always planned on doing a Veterans charity event, and I think we've hit it out of the park on this one, Preston, with the Veterans Only race on Wednesday night, and we've got 3 big races, 2 on Monday, the Pro Late Model 75 laps. Then the Open 360s will be 50 laps. And then on Wednesday we have the Veterans race, like I say, Veterans Only. You don't have to be a member of the league. Like if you're a veteran, we'll get you in, just like the ladies thing. It was you can use somebody else's account or whatever. And then on Thursday we've got a 100-lap dirt modified. It'll be fixed 358s, in case anybody's asking, but it'll be a 100-lapper, and that should be great. I'm really pumped. So the other big thing is A&J Custom Creations, Andy Patton, hit it out of the park again. He's donating trophies for all 4 divisions. So the veterans race on Wednesday night is free. Even if you don't donate in the other stuff, if you're a veteran, you can race in that. There's a trophy. And then the other thing too is we've we're a community league, and it's every season it just gets stronger and stronger. And I can't say enough. I'm doing all the talking here, Preston, but maybe you can talk a little bit about the teams that have stepped up for this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And that also being said, before we get to that, I've been watching kind of the donations flow in, at least on, because I set up the one for disabled American veterans, and I that's the only one I've seen. But I've been watching them come in, and I can't tell you how much it means to us to see you guys go in there and donate more than you need to. It's absolutely not a requirement. Your entry fee is $20 for all 3 races, or $10 for one. You can do whatever you like. We're more than happy with any donation you make, but I've seen guys donating $50, $75, and more often than not, guys are donating extra. That really means a lot to us. I mean, we're not veterans, but it's still, this is something that's important to us, that while we get out here and have fun, and we've said this on the podcast probably 3 or 4 times at this point, we want to give back somehow, right? That we're goofing off in a lot of ways, but I did. Roger was talking to me maybe it's last week before last, and just kind of talking about, we really needed to start getting stuff in order, needed to figure out sponsorship wise what we were going to do and how we were going to handle that. And I told him, I was like, give me an hour. So I went and talked to my teammates at KSR and said, hey, I want to approach the other teams about this, but I want to make sure we're backing it up too. So I approached a handful of our larger teams, and there's probably other teams that would have wanted to donate, and if I miss somebody, I apologize. That certainly wasn't my intention. I just went to the guys that I knew, that had a handful of teammates, and said, hey, would you be willing to just donate a little extra from your team? And so we had Spartan Racing stepped up, Phantom Racing, Phantom Motorsports, and if I butcher this, guys, I'm sorry. They stepped up big time. KSR is obviously in there because my guys are going to back this up too. And then, who am I forgetting? My goodness. Gambler Motorsports, obviously. Connor, you should have caught that one. And they're stepped up too. So, we've done a big thing, and those guys they're excited, right? It's not like, yeah, okay, we'll do this for you. It's like, what do you need? And I can't. That means a ton to us, and when we get teams backing us up to do something big like this, and we're going to do it right, and I think we'll have some kind of exciting stuff coming out here in the future. Might give us access to do some stuff we haven't been able to do in the past. Yeah,
and as well as that, a big shout out to Velocity Race Design. They donated the $50 early bird draw.
Yep.
$50 in iRacing credits. Epsilon Sprint Wraps is donating a wrap. VMR, who is donating, I think, 3 wraps. So the plan right now is what we're going to do is every one of those races, there's a trophy for the winner, but also the hard charger of those will get a wrap. So and then we're still going to have door prizes as well. So things have really come together, and because of our community, and I can't thank everybody enough for everything they've done. And anybody out there, either on a team or individuals or whatever, want to help sponsor this event, let us know. But the main thing is just to make sure you sign up early. It really helps us get things organized. But all the races are limited, the number of entries. So don't wait too long, or you may be on the outside looking in. So anyways, it's all coming together. Really excited about it. I think like you and I, Preston, we're definitely from 2 different generations, but we have the same respect for what all those veterans and active members. It's a veterans race, but if you're active, we want you in there as well. It's just really appreciate everything. I can't imagine what some of these guys have gone through, and I appreciate the literally sacrifices that they have made. So the other big one too was, Preston, talk about the other one where the photos, sending in photos of that doesn't have to be league members or whatever.
Yes, and I'm asking for everybody's help for this, because we want it, like I said, we want to do this right. So I know we request stuff here sometimes, and it's kind of optional, right? And it obviously is still optional. But I would really love for everybody, if you have a family member, a friend, or a friend's family member, or whatever, send us a picture and a name. I want to put together a little video where we'd usually run an advertisement, so we can honor these guys for, again, what Roger said, their sacrifice. It goes unnoticed. We say thank you for your service and feel like we've done our good deed, but it doesn't cover what people like that have done for us. And so again, this isn't going to do it either, but let's give it our go here. So again, if you have a family member or somebody that served in the military, just shoot me a quick picture. They don't need to be in uniform. Let me know what branch they served in, if possible, and their rank is great, but whatever you've got, send it to me. We're going to put together a small clip, and then let the rest of their family know that they're going to be honored. They don't have to watch the whole race if they don't want, but make sure they get to see their family member be honored, because we want to say thank you from the league, not just individually.
Yeah, and so for those who want to get in, and you don't have to be a member of the league, there's no I-rating limit or anything like that. Anybody with an I-racing account can go to gforcerl.com, and there should be a pop-up comes up. We'll take you to the page, or if not, at the top there's in the header, you can click on the 2021 Veterans Shootout and or Showdown, and then it shows you where to donate there. So just got to click on the button. It's Disabled Veterans for Americans, and for Canadians it's Soldier On. So 2 great causes. And yeah, can't say enough about that. So super excited, and please don't wait. Sign up, sooner than later, so that we can get a better handle on organizing the whole function. But all races will be broadcast. So Advantage TV will be doing the 2 on the Monday night. Joe White and OSRN will be doing the Wednesday night as part of Hometown Heroes, and Thursday night we'll be back to Advantage again. So all broadcast. It should be a great event. We're really looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
You got anything else, Preston?
I don't. I'm anxious to get over here and talk to these guys. So why don't we jump over and talk to Adam? We're going to roll right in after we talk to Adam for a few minutes. We're going to talk to Zach Chapman, and that's how we'll close out the show. So as always, we really appreciate everybody watching. I know there's a couple of guys. Carson Cherry, I'm going to shout you out because I know you reached out to me and said you want to be on the show. We're going to get you on here. Anybody else you want to come on and just have a chat with us, you can now contact myself, Roger, and you can contact Connor on Facebook. If you can, whoever you can find, shoot me a message. It looks like Roger wants to say something.
Yeah, no. Well, you mentioned Carson Cherry, and Carson's been missing. His mom missed the race. She was planning on being there. His grandfather passed away. So thoughts and prayers go out to Carson Cherry and his family through this difficult time, and we look forward to seeing him back on the track when all that is over. So. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. I wasn't aware. Yeah, so we'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers, Carson. And again, thanks for everybody for watching the show. Don't tune out. We got a couple of great interviews here, and we'll see you back next week.
So we are here with my all-time favorite track announcer in the history of ever going to racing. So a big build-up there. But if you have not been to the track with Adam in the announcing booth, it's a belly full of laughs, lots of knowledge, but it's a good time. And just want to welcome you to the show. We've been wanting to get you on for a long time, but it's really appropriate now. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you. Those are kind words. Kind words, to say the least. I appreciate that a lot.
Well, I kind of sucking up maybe, but no, they're absolutely, it's you are my favorite announcer, and the crew, the whole crew. You guys do such a great job at Ashweekend, and it's the bar that others should aspire to.
Yeah,
get to.
I can agree. I can agree to that. Yeah, Clinton and Greg are amazing, and it's funny, Roger, for everyone who I think is fond of me, I am sure there is at least one person who doesn't like the way I go about things, and that's fine too. You know what I mean? I think I'm a little bit polarizing that way because I do make a lot of jokes, and some people don't think that the racetrack is a place for that. But
it's absolutely the best.
They don't have to.
So when I go to the track, I've got I'm listening. I've got the lap times going up here, and I got two iPhones going, and I got another one so I can listen to the FM station that these guys broadcast on, so I can, because I don't want to miss anything when they're on. So it's a great time, and the main reason, we can talk about this stuff all night long. We can talk about all sorts of stuff all night long, but the main reason we brought you on is Hometown Heroes, which has been so successful this season. And every night, we're trying to run it basically, modeling it after a typical Ashweekend night. And, we have the Hometown series, the 305s and the 410s, and then we have the different tours that come through. So it's making for really entertaining and been really popular. But every night is a special night, and this coming week is going to be Mental Health Awareness Week, and basically sponsored by Wellness Sessions. So Adam has this awesome Facebook thing going. So tell us a little bit about the background, where all this started from, and what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I've lived with mental illness for the better part of 30 plus years. Anxiety, depression, and it comes and goes. There's great days and there's challenging days. I got to a point where I felt I should do something, and I'm comfortable speaking. I'm comfortable hosting events. So I branded what we called the Mindwell sessions, which was just an opportunity to bring people in who have experience with mental illness, and some who have experience with mental health and things that you can do to improve your mental health. And I hosted 3 monthly events, December, January, February, 2018 going into 2019, 2019 going into 2020.
Yeah.
The months, the years, the days, they blend together. COVID struck, and we took it online in March of 2020, and I started hosting weekly online sessions every Thursday night. So we went for nearly a year, And I got to the point recently where I said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore every week. It's kind of lost it's still great. I love the community that we've built and the friends that I've made. But I want to do fewer of the sessions and make them a little bit more impactful, a little bit more meaningful. So that's what I've transitioned to now, and it's through Facebook. So Adam Out There on Facebook, on Instagram, that's where you can find me, Adam Out There. And the Mindwell sessions we host on Facebook. And mostly it's just to put a voice behind mental illness. A place where people can come and feel comfortable for an hour or so a week and chat and check in on each other and talk about what's going on. And really the goal is to give people a little bit of hope. You know, people who are struggling with mental illness quite often don't realize how common it is, how many people suffer. There are a lot of people out there, and it brings people comfort to know that they can relate to somebody. Hey, if he's got anxiety and depression, he's been able to make it to his mid-40s and have quite a bit of fun with life, then maybe there's hope for me yet. So short answer long, Roger, that's what I do with the Mindwell sessions and some of my spare time, and it's been quite rewarding. And to make the answer even longer, one of the things that I preach to people is find something you're passionate about and do something with it. You know, when you have a passion, it gives you something to wake up for every day. It gives you something to get excited for. And I don't know that you have any mental health struggles, Roger, but you've taken on something you're passionate about. That's how you encountered Preston, and you've built these leagues into something that nobody could have envisioned, right? So it's amazing what you can do with a bit of passion and an idea.
Yeah, and I've said before, you know, with all the COVID going on, if it wasn't for iRacing, you know, because you know, my wife and I have been like basically isolated for the most part, and I mean, and thank God we get along great and we get along well. But it's because, you know, she has her thing, her Lynn's Huggables thing, and she does that, and I've got my iRacing and my community. I've got all these people to talk to, and you know, a good social group to get me through this. But I have to admit, Adam, the last month or so, like, you know, I started sort of doing like a self-check. You know, and I think I've been going through some depression in the last little bit. So what you do is always helpful. Your posts, you know, the waiting for the stop sign to turn green. That was a great post that you had the other day.
I'm an open book, and I think it makes me relatable. And what Roger's talking about, I wrote a lengthy post because I came to my senses. I had stopped for my coffee one morning going to work, and I came to my senses when I was about to turn onto Highway 8 and get on the road. And I sort of alerted myself thinking, I'm sitting here waiting for a stop sign to turn green. And it makes your mind work in reverse. Like, how long have I been sitting here? So you look up in the rearview mirror and make sure there's not a row of people, and there wasn't. It was just me. I might have been there for 10 minutes. I don't know, but I snapped out of it. Like, sign's not going to turn green, you dumbass. Just go.
I was in a dirt mod race. I just came out of it, like you guys held off the session for it. And on one of the restarts, I had one of those guys thought he was at a stop sign waiting for it to go green. And it went green, and he never went. But anyways, it can always be, you know, interest. I don't know how many times I remember when I used, especially going to work, I would, like, you'd get to work, you'd be coming, like, just turning in and like, how did I get here? I don't even remember driving any part of it, you know, because your mind's all over the place. But and with your Mindwell sessions, you've had some pretty, you know, significant names on your show. Like, you've had race drivers. I think you had a skier on there.
Yeah, an Olympic skier. We had Hal Johnson, the body brake participation fella, Kevin Frankish, who used to be with City TV.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, whenever anybody comes on, and I had Brittlestar most recently, who is a social media sensation, makes amazing videos. And it's just a matter of introducing people to the fact that mental illness is very challenging, but it's not a death sentence. It's something you can overcome, and it may come and go, and a lot of people deal with it and get over it and never deal with it again. Some of us, it's an ongoing thing. I'll tell you something, Roger, I haven't said this to anybody, I have not watched one of our iRacing streams in probably a month. And it's not that I don't enjoy them, but I think it's a mental health thing. I've gotten to the point where I'm bitter. My mental health is in a state I need to see real race cars. And I know it's a great release. I haven't iRaced in at least a month. I'm just in a place in my mind where I need to see some real racing that I can smell and I can feel, or I'm going to go nuts. And I've kind of separated myself from esports for a little while, and I think that's why. I think once I get some real racing under my belt. Not that iRacing isn't real; it's very real to those who do it, and I've enjoyed it. I just think it's a mental block right now that I just need to get to the racetrack.
Yeah. You know, with iRacing, the cars are virtual, but the racing is real. But I'm with you, and of course, not helping this conversation is today we just got told that our lockdown is being extended another 2 weeks. So it's I can't wait. I can't wait to get to the track, and you know, our race team is talking about meeting down at the Four Crowns. We were talking to Connor about this last night, and finally get me to meet my internet friends that have got me through this whole COVID thing. Yeah, it's just it can't come soon enough, and I'm sure that Junior Connor, everybody knows Connor Ross, and he's supposed to be in the vintage car this season, so we're all pumped. Me and my neighbor Gary and a bunch of us are, we want to get to the track and cheer him on. So it's tough, but yeah, it's I don't know, it can't come soon enough, and but I think that the big thing is what I found, especially like from your shows and that, is it allows people, like you said, it allows people to say, I'm not alone here, and let them come out of their comfort zone, and I think it's really, really important what's happening there.
It illustrates to me, Roger, what we're missing right now. And people talk, oh, I want to be in a crowd, or I want to go to an event where there's lots of people. Like, I want normalcy back. I think what they really mean is they need that energy. Like, we give and receive a ton of energy when we're in each other's presence, right?
Absolutely.
When people are together, especially when people are together with a common bond, right? There's just that excitement. You can't see it, you can't hear it, but you can feel it. It's there, and that's what's been missing. And I think we've been doing our best. We can't control the hand we've been dealt. We can't control how our government reacts to it. We can't control the fact that our hospitals were full when we look on TV in the United States and they're getting back to normal. The roles are reversed.
Yes.
From where we were last year. So it's all things that are out of our control, but it's very real in our minds, and we need that. We need that human interaction. That's why mental health is more important, and is going to be more important, I think, over the next 5 years than it's ever been. So be aware, be alert of your surroundings and people around you, and have as many conversations as you can. It doesn't always have to be a big, are you okay? Just a, hey, how's it going? How you been? Someone you haven't picked up the phone and called in a while that you used to talk to. Do it. Take the time. Do it. It might just make their day. It might make your day. Quite often we don't realize how much we're suffering ourselves. And then you reach out to help someone else, and it helps us. It kind of fills our soul up a little bit. And it's helpful. And I'm being really long-winded tonight. No,
you're not. No, this is too important.
Well, let me chime in for a second, since I haven't said anything yet, and I need to have the conversation. But no, so I totally am on board with you, because I'm of the generation where I saw Facebook. I was a kid when it started, and Facebook became a thing. So my generation is still obsessed with Facebook, but the problem has been, and everybody started to acknowledge that it's, everybody's or a lot of people took their relationships online, and you lose that personal connection. And now we're dealing with the pandemic that has forced even the relationships you didn't take online, and everything's online, and it really is. You don't feel it at first. Those first couple of months didn't seem too bad, but then you just, it's a drag. It just kind of pulls you down a little bit.
It's like we're all carrying we're pulling an anchor around with us, and you often don't realize it. You often don't realize that you're depressed until something happens and you kind of snap out of it a bit. Say, wow, how long was I carrying this baggage around?
I text my son a few weeks ago. Just how's it going? He's pretty busy at work, so I wait for a week. How's it going? And he said, I'll call you in a minute. And I couldn't believe, after the conversation, I sent him a text after the conversation. I said, thanks for calling. Like, it made a massive difference. Just hearing his voice, not even that physical presence, just hearing the voice. It was just really, really made a difference in my day.
Do not underestimate the power of a thoughtful gesture, right? Of hearing someone's voice, of giving someone that acknowledgement, of sometimes we need to simplify life a little bit. As I look on my Decker, come here, buddy. If we treated everybody like a dog, right? A dog comes up to you and he'll wag his tail when you're making him happy, and you can scratch him behind the ears, and you know that he likes it because he, pants a little bit and wags his tail and looks at you like, don't stop, don't. But we're no different. I'm not saying go scratch people behind the ear, but I'm saying a little bit of attention, a little bit of positive attention. Whether you're a person or whether you're a dog, it feels good. Do something kind for somebody. And so he's back to looking out the window.
Yeah, I know.
Everything in the world he could need.
He's usually around your shoulders, by this point in the conversation. But my wife, when this started, and I think she's let it go. I got to talk to her again. But what she was doing was every day she was reaching out to somebody she hadn't talked to in a long time, and it was great for her, and it was great for the person on the other end, And I think probably I need to do more of that as well, But thank God for my iRacing community, because they have gotten me through most of this, and it's.
And I want to toot our horn a little bit there, because you just used the term community, and that's something I'm really proud of. And I think as we start to announce more stuff around our veterans showdown that we've got coming up in, I guess, 2 weeks now, I think that's really going to show, because we have a lot of guys. I've run in a couple of other leagues selectively, and they're fine. They do a great job running the league, but it's like there's so many friendships, not even between myself and somebody, that I've just seen kind of blossom. And these guys are good buddies, and they get on there and they goof around, and we talk junk with them, and it's just I was always the guy that, like, I'm not going to make friends online. That's weird, right? But it just happens so naturally, and there's guys that I consider very close friends and that I've never even been with before. And I know if I needed something, or if I just needed to, chat for a few minutes, I could hit them up, and it would be no issue.
Yeah, it's very real, right? And you guys are doing a great thing. The work you put into the leagues, and I know how thankless it is, because I've been there, done that. But it's great work. People appreciate it. You give people routine when there is no routine, or worse, when they're in this pandemic. Every day is the same damn routine. So it's a great service, and thank you for raising awareness for mental health this week. Well,
it's like I say, we did one for autism a few weeks ago, and it was eye-opening for me, just learning more as we did that, and the same for this. It's so important, especially now. And if you could just repeat again where they can reach out and catch your show.
Adam Out There. Facebook.com/Adam Out There. Search Adam Out There on Facebook. That's who we are on Instagram. Not as active as I was on those, but I'm still there, right? And that's when we have something to say, I like to say it. And, we're going to keep on doing events as they come. And I'm looking forward. I think we're about 1 month away from getting back to the racetrack. My prediction is the second weekend of June, we're going to start opening up, and we can enjoy a normal, closer to normal lifestyle, which for racing people is not normal in the least by most people's standards, but it's what I lived for.
Well, and hopefully it's the three of you guys, the three Stooges in the booth on the broadcast that you're doing, because that's the other thing about G-Force. G-Force TV is that it's brought a lot of racing into living rooms where people just can't even get to. They just can't get to the track. There's nobody in the stands yet. They held races last year, and so there's hope for this year that even if there's limitations, that we'll still get to see some real life stuff. I really got off the other night. Dylan Westbrook was at I-96, on Flow Racing, watching it, and geez, that's really. I can relate to what you were saying earlier. It's really tough. It was enjoyable, but it was really tough to watch. I just want to be at the track, especially when a couple of our iRacing buddies were there, and they're talking to Dylan and stuff. Like, they're getting it, and geez, this is killing me. But the other one I wanted to mention too was, Connor's been coming on doing track reports and stuff with the Hometown Heroes, and then in one of the sessions, at least, him and Joe, he was doing the color for Joe. And I was about halfway through that, and it just went right through me. It sounded like I was listening to you at the track, like his inflections and stuff. He's your kid, right? And
I have not had conversations with him. I heard him interviewed after a race that he had won, and I noticed that his answers were a lot better than they used to be, because he was not always a very good interview. Which is funny, because Connor is lacking in a lot of areas, but personality is not one of them. Right? Like he'll let you know what's on his mind, and he's working on his sarcasm and his wit. It's something he's been practicing for a long time.
He's been practicing on me.
Yes, but he's getting to the point where he knows where to use it. So I have not heard him announce yet. I would like to, because I'm curious to see, but he seems to do better. Like, as soon as I try to offer any advice, it'll be the worst thing for him. So I've got to keep my distance, and just enjoy what he does, and it's he's having fun, and at this time, good for him. Yep.
So another thing too, I got to mention to you is Hometown Heroes. Like I say, it's been so popular. Next season. We're well into the planning stages for next season, but Father's Day weekend, or not Father's Day week, like we did Ladies' Night, Mother's Day week. So Father's Day week we have I think 8 or 10 father-son combos, and now we got the Goldners. Barry's his other son Kyle is showing up.
Oh, is that right? That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So Hometown Heroes, we're gonna have a father-son. We're still trying to figure out we got some ideas, like it might be a relay race. Preston had an idea. One guy does so many laps, and then the other guy comes in the pits and switch cars. But anyways, you gotta get that second rig going, man, because
I think we're a little ways off from that. I'm happy that we've got the one rig running well, and all this time off, we've been getting a lot of work done around the house. So.
That's good.
One of these days.
Yeah, the honey-do list gets worked on a bit.
I just had an idea. I'm gonna. So I had an idea. I think the idea, and Adam just solved it, because I didn't know how we were going to determine where guys park in the pits. We'll just force them to be at the same place, and they'll do a physical driver's change in the rig mid-race. That'll do it.
How do we know that they did it?
No, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
So. Well, but the other thing we could do is Connor could come over and run my rig, then you run your rig. Like, we can work this out.
I like what Preston's saying, because if you, so whoever's not driving has to take a picture of the other one driving with the screen as part of the shot. So you could work that out. You could make it doable. I love getting creative. I love the creative process around putting on races. So you guys keep up that great work.
Well, if you got any ideas for that, then make sure you contribute, because we're always looking for something new, and especially on the Hometown Heroes thing, we like to do stuff that nobody else does. We had a demolition derby a couple of weeks ago, and then we had an enduro, the 75 lap. I don't know if you watched it last night. Connor was right up there in third, and I think I took him out. But that all started. That whole idea came from Rivals when you guys did it on a Friday. Remember you used to end the night with a 75 laughing thorough, and it was belly laughs, and the announcers were killing themselves laughing, and yeah, it's it's been a load of fun. But anyways, I'd like to thank you, and is it Dexter? Decker. Hey, how you doing, Decker? I'd like to thank you both for coming on, and we got to get you on another time. And I mean, we could talk all night racing, that's for sure. But
anytime, guys. But
this one here is wanted to keep the main focus on the mental health and awareness, and just I can't thank you enough for what you do, Adam. I was lucky when we went fishing that time. We went to a guy's garage to get enough good internet, and that was the night you had the morning show guy on.
Yeah, Kevin Frank.
Yeah.
Beautiful property we visited.
Oh, wasn't that? My wife's still talking about that. So
yep.
It was a spectacular. But and that goes back. I know I keep on yakking, but when you were talking about this whole thing, so we went fishing for a few days last season, Connor and Adam and I, and I had said, like, you never get to know people any better than spending a few hours in a boat. And it's that, like, you came back and said, face to face, it's that energy. There's something special about, especially being in the environment we were in up north. But it is, and we're all missing.
Great time.
Yeah, and we're all missing that. We're all missing that contact. So, we there's light at the end of the tunnel, but can't thank you enough for what you do. I know I've seen that you've helped a lot of people, made people realize that they're not alone. They're normal, and just can't thank you enough for that. So thanks again, buddy, and I hope to see you huffing and puffing your way up to the booth.
Yeah. Soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Anytime.
Thanks, Adam.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
And we're here with one of the newest members of the organization in an official manner, Zach Chapman. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good tonight, fellas. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We just came off of Hometown Heroes, and it seems that I was in the way of Zach everywhere on every race, and to the point where the ultimate. I pulled the ultimate trick in the Enduro. He had the lead, and I decided I needed. Well, I could hardly steer the car. I decided I wanted to pit. The only problem was that Zach was between me and the pits, and I took him out of the lead, I guess. So it was kind of a. I'm surprised he's still talking to me.
Hey, it's all right. Shit happens, right? Can't win them all.
No, for sure. So. Want to go back to you joined the league, I think, back in November. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was worried. Well, if you remember, I joined the league as a street stock guy. I'm still learning with you guys in these sprint cars. I'm not very good. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it, but I've got a lot to learn still. And thank God for John Hine and them helping me out so much, because without them, I'd be lost. But I was lucky. I got in one of those Thursday night races that you guys put on to join the league, and it went caution free. So I went a lap down, but I still got in the race because there were no caution, or got in the league because there were no caution. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so when we had the recruiting stuff, just for anybody out there, we had a deal that if they could go 20 laps caution free, normally they had to have a 3-race probation. If they could go 20 laps caution-free, everybody in that race got invited into the league. So that was your first night out that you got invited in?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's hilarious.
You're lucky I wasn't out there running.
Well, it's proof that system worked, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
That's awesome. So, yeah, you've been doing a great job running the sprint cars, and I think that the dirt mods you're doing not too bad in too, right?
Yeah, I'm second in points in the B series.
And then the other cool thing is you run with your dad on Saturday mornings in the cup races. I think that's cool.
That's turned into a real fun thing. I mean, like, pretty much as soon as it's over, he gives me a phone call. Like, I mean, last week at Darlington, he took me out. he hit the outside wall, and he wrecked me, ruined my race, put me a lap down, and yeah, he called me, was real apologetic about it. But I mean, it's fun. I really enjoy it. This league. I mean, I noticed. I think it's the Goldeners, right? There's 3 of them that run too.
Yep.
And dude, I mean, that's what I love about this. It's so much fun. You know, it's like, you know, we're not out there. We're not the fastest guys on asphalt, but we know how to race. The most part, we try to be clean, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
So, changing gears a little bit, I was intrigued by the fact that you're from Gettysburg.
Yeah.
So, does your dad live in Gettysburg as well?
Yeah, he grew up here his whole life. My grandparents did as well. So, I mean, pretty much, you know, it's where I'm from.
So, I have to interrupt for a second. Pronounce Gettysburg, Roger?
Gettysburg.
You pronounce it, Zach?
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. Okay, I was just making sure that it wasn't my hick accent that I had it wrong.
No, I guess it's the Canadian version.
Right.
There's my tromper buddies, the guys I hike and bike with. We did a trip. We done. Oh, never mind. I could go on that. We done a whole bunch of trips. It took 20 years to do the Bruce Trail, which is like about 520 miles, and they would do a section every year. And once they got that, they were looking for other stuff to do. So we did a trip down to Gettysburg, and just an awesome place. We did a bike tour, you know, hired a guide and did a whole bike tour of all the battle sites and stuff. And there's a building in town there with there's still all the bullet marks from from the Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Just awesome place, and beyond the whole Civil War thing. So that's a cool place, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not normally a fan of big government, but I do like the fact that a lot of the government has bought up a lot of the land around here. So, I mean, we're not really going to get much bigger than we are. And, I mean, you know, I went to school. I think when I graduated, there were like maybe 200 kids in my graduating class. So, I mean, you know, it's a smaller school. So, I mean, I enjoyed it.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 28 now.
Okay. Yeah, so okay. Yeah,
no, I'm a liar. I'm 29. I'll actually be 30 in June. I'm a liar.
That's fine. I do that all the time too.
Yeah.
So, what about a racing background? Now, your dad's got involved too. So, do you both have a racing background of some sort?
Yeah, him a lot more than me. I grew up. How much? I mean, you guys are familiar with sprint cars and stuff. Have you guys ever heard of like Kevin Gobrecht? You guys know who he was?
Man, that name sounds super familiar.
He passed away in the early 2000s, late 90s, maybe in World Outlaws. He grew up running actually where Lane does sometimes at Hunterstown Speedway in Pennsylvania. My dad raced with him a lot, and when I was a little kid, I grew up around those guys. My dad raced go-karts, and then he went into street stocks, and then when I was a teenager, 12, I got into 4-cylinder ovals. I started out with a Cavalier for a year, and then I went up to 6-cylinder ovals for 2 years, and then I did a couple rides in my dad's street stock, and I got into a bad wreck with that and totaled it, and that was the last ride with that, because it was right at the time where my parents were going through a divorce, so money was a little tight. So that was the last time out.
Now, was that actually in a race, like, or were you just hot lapping?
Yeah, no, that was in a race. It was it was Trailway Speedway in Hanover, Pennsylvania. It's not a super big track.
So on Saturday, so on Saturday, your dad phoned you up to apologize for taking you out in an iRacing race where he could reset the car and you could reset the car with a button. What did you say after you destroyed his car and his whole career? Just asking.
Not to make you feel guilty or anything.
Yeah, not to make you feel guilty.
At that point, he didn't really care. It was more, I mean, that's where I, not to get too personal on this, I didn't have the best mom growing up, but I had the best father in the whole entire world. And he sacrificed his racing career for me to go on and race. So at that point, he was already done. There was no hard feelings at all. So I didn't have anything to worry about. It was pretty much my ride at that point.
Yeah, so you sacrificed your own career with that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and just to point out too, both Tim and Zach Chapman have been swapping points in the NASCAR series like weekly. So I input those every week, and it's become this thing that I pay very close attention to, is who jumped who, because it seems like they swap every week and they're within 2 or 3 points every single week, and it's a pretty cool battle I've been watching.
Big battle this week. He called me on the phone when he was on his way home from work tonight, and he was talking a bunch of shit, saying that he was preparing for Dover and he was going to be real fast this week. So we'll see what he's got this Saturday, I guess.
You should have had him out tonight with the Duro.
I try to get him into it, man. I'm slowly trying to get him into the road racing too, that you guys, doing on the Sunday nights, because I told him you guys are moving to the Radicals possible. And I was like, man, if you do that, I was like, Dad, these things are so light. I was like, man, they're like go-karts that go, 150 mile an hour. I was like, these things are a blast. And I think he's considering it.
No, that's good. Yeah. It'd be great to get him out, that's for sure. And big news I just heard during the race tonight was Preston messaged me. I haven't seen it yet, but the VWs are supposed to be ready for season 3, so we'll definitely be running them somewhere.
Yeah, iRacing made an announcement today. I believe it was today. I saw it today that there will be 4 new fixed series this coming season. Formula V's will be a fixed series. So it is a rookie series. So that may actually keep some people from participating, I think. I haven't run those in a while, but I think if you already have a D class, you're not eligible for those. So there'll be a Formula V. There will be a Formula 3 fixed series. There will be a World of Outlaws 410 fixed series, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure they didn't have that before. I thought they did, but maybe that was the Sling Mud for fun where it didn't count. And then there is also a I don't remember the name of a series officially, but it'll use the dollar up P217, the endurance style car, or it's like an LMP style car. So those will be 4 new fixed series, which is pretty cool. That was their big tagline, is if you want to be able to jump in and not have tons of practice and setup time, those will be good series to do it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's some exciting stuff coming down the pipe, along with some of the stuff we got coming that people don't really know about yet, and we can't talk about. But we do have a very exciting new season, and part of that, the restructuring and reorganizing of the league. Part of that was identifying a director for race control, and we're really pleased that Zach accepted that, and takes a load off of our shoulders for sure. And even tonight, I just, it was great. I just messaged Zach. We got coverage for tonight. Like, I don't have to go chasing after anybody or anything. So it's a cool situation. And I want to thank you, a ton for stepping up to do that.
No, yeah, I appreciate all that you guys have done to put all this together, and like I say, be able to, my dad, other than work, and he doesn't do much other than iRacing. So to be able to bring that happiness to him, and give me and him them moments, and let me meet people like John, and help me, just develop relationships with you guys. This is the least I can do. I owe it to you guys, and I appreciate all that you guys have done.
So maybe talking about new things coming in the next season and stuff. One of the coolest things I think about the whole iRacing thing, I'm very, very envious, is all the father-son relationships. There's Preston, there's you, there's the Goldners now, who Barry has 2 kids racing, and there's about another, Ben Kelch when his dad comes out. There's a bunch of them, and it's just so cool. The Moors, So can we talk about that one, Preston? So
let's go for it.
Yeah. So next season, of course, Hometown Heroes will be back. It's just been the most popular thing we've ever done. But next season, and Preston suggested Father's Day, like that week, the week of Father's Day, which might be the first week of that season. We're going to have a father-son race on a Wednesday night. So, and Preston had some ideas on that. Like, we haven't even, these are all pie in the sky, but his idea was that the son drives half that race and the father drives the other half. So there's a whole bunch of formats we can do on that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
So the idea, and I want to hear others too, because I think there's a lot of, like, with a definitely, well, now that I'm thinking about it, the Goldners, it might be a little bit tricky because they've got 3, right? But it's essentially a relay race. So, if we did a 60-lap race or whatever, you could split it into 320s or 230s or whatever. But anyway, basically, you would have to go 1 lap past that. So you need to do 61 laps. The first guy goes 20 laps, and on this 20th lap comes in, and then the other guy, when he parks in his pit stall or whatever, that's the tricky part at the moment, I think. The father or son, whoever didn't go first, goes out and then finishes their race. So it'd be, I guess, technically like a 21-lap race if you were doing 40. Then the first person would run 20, and then the second person runs 21 to complete the race, and that keeps whoever goes first from actually finishing the race, and it would still put them in order. So that's my idea. I have a feeling there's a couple of flaws that I haven't come across yet, but if anybody else has any other, like, kind of tricky ideas like that, I'd love to hear them, because I think doing something kind of strange, just like the Enduro tonight, I'm adminning, and I got to tell you, if you want to admin a race, volunteer for the Enduros. You tell everybody the initial starts on green flag, you're free to run into each other and how many incidents they have, and then you don't do anything for the rest of the night. So it was awesome. But yeah, so just interesting little stuff like that, and that's what we want to do for these kind of, like, I guess, novel races. I guess we want to find new things to try and do.
So a question on that, as an outside observer, Preston, because you were watching, and the sense I get from the people I've heard from so far, which is only like an hour ago, but is that this was much better than the first one.
Yeah, it definitely resembled a race. I think there were probably some incidents towards the last 10 laps or so where guys got a little bit looser with we'll call them the rules. It's hard to police, but we want to keep guys going around the track. So if you loop it, you can't just pull up the track to wreck somebody, or we'd prefer you didn't. But yes, the first 50 laps, there weren't really, I guess maybe 50 is an arbitrary number, but somewhere around there. I think you and Lane were the two with the highest incidents. I think a lot of guys were probably gunning for Lane, but maybe Zach was gunning for Lane. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah. So you had guys with 10 and 12 incidents, and then they all started ramping up towards the end, which that's okay. That we don't have an issue with that. But yeah, it was great. I know I was watching Zach, who led probably the most laps, I would assume, and at that point only had 2 incidents, and I'm kind of thinking at this point, like, somebody's going to see that, and they're going to go for him, and eventually it happened. But it was very entertaining, even from an admin standpoint.
Yeah. So that's good, and that's the 3. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Zach, who eventually did get into you, if you don't mind name dropping somebody.
Well, it was, I think, Roger apologized to me for it, but it was whenever he made his move to the pits there.
Yeah, move to the pits.
Yeah, that's what I said to him too. But then I had to turn right to go straight down the straightaway, so it was real hard to run that line against the wall, and I had to move to the middle of the track, and I was a sitting duck. Then Vickery just drove right by me on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I screwed it. Yeah, so you got your question there, Preston?
Huh?
We haven't asked these questions in a long time.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I kind of regret we didn't ask Jackie last week, and we absolutely should have.
Yes, it went through my mind at some point, and then we got sidetracked. And yes, for sure, absolutely, we should have asked her.
So Zach, I'll ask my typical question, and it's, in this case, for our league. Who would you say is your biggest rival in the G-Force Racing Leagues?
Is it terrible to admit that my biggest rival is a 13-year-old kid?
No, I think there are probably a good percentage of guys in our league that would say that as well.
So I got a question for you. But before I ask my question, how long have you been iRacing?
I just got it. I want to say in July of last summer, July or June.
And did you run leagues before? Or were you just running officials and stuff like that?
I was just running officials pretty much, and then I had come across Steve Shaw Jr. and then he had brought me in here with you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So and what kind of equipment have you got? Are you running singles, triples, VR?
I'm just running like I run on like a big TV. Just plug my computer into a TV. It's like a 52-inch, and then it's just a single. And I'm on a G29.
Okay, very good. So my question then is your most memorable moment in iRacing.
Getting this right here.
Street Stock A Division champion.
So that would have been last season, right? So you won you won the final championship of the G-Force Racing League Street Stocks because we will never do them again.
Yep. And it was like I say, it was the only thing I was any good at. So I'm trying to learn this other stuff now.
You're not giving yourself enough credit, man. You're quick in just about everything.
Get this in context. You just started racing last July. It hasn't even been a year yet. Guys like you piss me off. And then you won the championship, and you'd only been in the league that one season because you got through recruiting. I think it was November of last year. So, kudos to you, man. So that was well done. Yeah, and that's a collector's item. You know that you might be able to put that on eBay one day for like big money.
Oh, no way. My girlfriend was so mad, but it's literally, it sits under my television in my bedroom. Like, I cleared off a spot for it. Like, it's like, I was like, no way. I was like, I worked so hard for that thing all year. It's going right there where I can look at it all the time.
So before we went on air, you mentioned your fiance. So I just want to make sure you don't have both a fiance and a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, shit, you're right. Fiance, yeah. Yeah. August 14th. August 14th.
Oh, you better hope she doesn't watch this.
Oh, man, she might.
Yeah. That's cool. Any other questions, Preston?
You know what? I probably got 500,000, but nothing comes to mind at the moment.
No, and anything else you want to talk about, Zach, or...
Nothing in particular. Like I say, I just want to thank you guys for giving me the chance to help you out. Like I say, I appreciate what you guys have done, and thanks for bringing me on this.
Well, it's been, I can't say enough. Since you come in the league, you were always wanting to help any way you could, and you started doing the admitting and you're right out of the box. You're doing a phenomenal job, and stepping up in this latest role is huge for us. I don't think other people understand how important it is, and it just means a lot. That you're putting back, as much as you're taking out, or more really. So I just appreciate that, and thanks for everything you do for the league. And I'll try to stay out of your way in the future because tonight. I'm surprised he came on the show, Preston, because I took him out at every race.
Well, we'll see what happens when I hit the stop recording button, because maybe it gets ugly. But just to help Zach out a little bit, if you're interested in adminning any races, we've got some new blood coming in. I know Joe Halter is going to be starting to admin Rebels here. He's done a great job. And so if anybody's interested, if you can get in contact with Zach, or if you contact me or Roger, we'll put you in contact with Zach too, and we'll get you all set up. But it really is, quite frankly, I've gotten used to it a little bit now. It's not something that I always love doing, but with the mic mute now, it's a lot easier to admin, a little less stress, and so it's a fun way if there's something you don't care to run, or if you don't mind taking a certain division off. It's a lot of fun, really. So get in contact with us, and we'll get you set up, run you through some training races, and get you on the schedule. So with that, I guess I left a big hanging Chad there. I guess I should thank Zach for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Alrighty, thanks guys.
Yeah,
Take it easy.
thanks a lot, buddy. That was great.